everybody? Welcome to the Daily Dose of Awesome. Super excited to have you guys here with me today. We are going to be talking about the simple structure of a blog post. So, of course, I have the handy dandy whiteboard right behind me. So first off, I just want to say hello. My name is Chef Katrina. I am the Director of Client Experience for Elite Marketing Pro. I'm also a mentor, speaker, and a team building specialist. I work with entrepreneurs and small business owners, teaching them basically how to strategize their social media to help build large organizations, teams, and clientele. So I love what I do. So today we're going to be talking about blogging. Truly a phenomenal passion of mine. I love teaching it. I remember the first time I got started blogging, I hated it. I found it frustrating. I found it annoying. I found it very hard to follow sometimes. I figured a lot of the times, or I didn't figure, I felt like some of the times everybody was speaking over my head. I remember trying to figure out what a theme was for days. I was like, I don't understand how this works. What's in front of me isn't what I'm seeing, and totally got the frustration about all this. So just want to check in, see who's all here with me today. So hey, sound. You guys can hear me? Just double checking, making sure everybody can hear me. So Fusano, I see you. Michael, you said sound. Speak the blog. Hey Chef, it's Gramps. Hey Robert, how are you? Good to see you guys here. Who else is on with us? I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. If you guys can, just mic check. I think everything is good. I think you guys can hear me. Just want to make sure you can. Yes. Good. You can hear me, Melinda. Thank you. All right. If you guys can hear me and you guys know I'm here, then let's get underway. So honestly, today I want to talk a lot about the structure of a blog. This is a question that's actually come up. I've seen people ask me this question inside the community. It's about connecting the dots. It's about really, putting this in place for you guys and creating this simple idea of how everything works together. So if you guys are ready, we have about 12 minutes to get you onto the simple structure of a blog. And guys, just keep having comments and making sure you guys are engaging. If you guys have questions, I'm watching this. So the more that you're asking, the better the questions. Then we can really make this a powerful daily dose of awesome for you guys, because this for me is fun. Absolutely. All right. So the structure of a blog, really where I'm going to start for you guys is not the landing page or the home page. I see a lot of people that want to create that wow factor, like that cover photo for their blog, and that's not necessarily what you have to do. You can actually not worry about that when you first start blogging. It's not critical to your success. And the reason I say that is because people are there for the content. They're not there to, I'm going to go ahead and drop this lower third out of the way for you guys. They're there for the content. They're there because of the information you're providing for them. So if you can focus on what you're writing and training about, that is actually going to be a bigger win for your followers, okay? So I'm not even worried about the first page with like the huge headline and everything else. Like that really, when you get started, don't even worry about it. I had 4 different blogs before I started my current blog, and it wasn't pretty back then either. And I didn't worry about it. Like that wasn't a bigger concern. So if you guys are looking at your blog, so if you guys get to your blog, this is what the viewer is seeing, okay? So this is what is seen by your fans, right? This is what the fans see. Okay? So typically what they're going to see on your blog is you're going to have a header here. So there may be a picture of you, and it may be your name, right? Don't worry so much. And people get caught up on the taglines, and they get caught up on like, well, what do I want to be for people, and what should I, okay, forget all of that. Honestly, don't even worry about that. It's not a big issue for this one. Your fans are just going to see you. The image is important, for me, because what happens with image is that when you have an image of you, it's the same image that you're seeing on social media. It's the same image you're seeing on Facebook. That actually makes it easier for people to build a relationship with you because they see the same image on your blog as they're seeing on your Facebook profile, on your page, right? So you want to make sure they see that. And can you guys all see this room? I want to bring this a little bit closer to you guys because I can scoot you guys up so you guys can see a little bit better. Like boom, right there. All right. So this is what your fans see. This is your name. This is just your headline. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Not when you first get started out, right? Just really, really simple. The next part of this is this right here is what we call your sidebar, okay? This is a sidebar. That's all that is. It's usually going to fall on the right-hand side of your blog when you're looking at it. This is a pretty simple structure that people see, that they know. This is kind of what they are expecting when they get to a blog. Typically, what you're putting in here, okay, so what you're going to see, there's usually like an offer, right, with a name and email address, right? So some sort of an offer, some sort of a banner, something that you're putting right there. This actually, and then if you guys are doing banners, right, like you'll see that Elite Marketing Pro has some banners that you can put in. So this is a banner. So what you may or may not know, and you guys are getting this, right? It's like I'm not trying to be really overcomplicating this, really keeping this simple, but the terminology used between all of this, right? What they do to put these on here, a banner is actually what they call a widget. All right, this is actually called a widget. That's what the terminology, if you're on a WordPress site, that is what they call it. They call it a widget. So that is, like, you can find HTML code, you can find all sorts of things, and you can put a widget. That's where you would discover that. That's the language that's used in the WordPress back office. That's the same thing for like Elite Marketing Pro. What I love about Elite Marketing Pro's own blog and capture page system is that this structure is already given to you, and now you're kind of just filling in the blanks, honestly. So you may have a place for them to opt in to get your email address. You may have a banner here, something you want to promote. You may have, with Elite Marketing Pro, you have like an About Me little section so they can click there to learn a little bit more about you. Like, this is all perfect. You can customize this whole sidebar. My cautionary tale about the sidebar, honestly, is don't overdo it. I've gone to blogs where I swear this looks like it looks like advertising through up on the blog. And I think that's the worst thing you can do. So definitely do not minimize this. Keep it to a couple of really critical things, because the sidebar is going to show up on every single blog post, right? So don't throw up on your sidebar. Keep it clean. Keep it simple. And when you do that, it's going to be easier to follow, okay? So I just really want to make sure you guys are aware of that. The next thing you're going to see, there's a section typically right here. This is called your menu, right? So what your menu allows people to do is that when you start blogging, you're going to create what we call blog posts, okay? But the menu is basically your filing system for your blog. This is how people are going to navigate through your content. This is how people are going to find you, is that they're going to navigate through your blog, okay? So when they navigate through your blog, you're going to want to have typically you're going to want to have a home. You guys may or may not see this. So you want to have just a couple of them. Anything, I'd say between 4 and 5. Anything more than that gets really, really, yeah, simple, all right? Keep it easy. So the menu, typically on a menu, I have a home. I have an About Me. We talked about that last week, right? And then I may have just a section for my blog. When I first got started, I'll tell you guys right now, when I first got started, I did not have a blog section. I basically told you what I was doing. I actually had like a social media section, and the reason that category was there is that I had subcategories like talking about Facebook, talking about Twitter. I'm not telling you guys to do this, but that's kind of what I ended up doing, was that I had just sections, and then I was just writing to write. Like, there was no like craziness behind this, but I was just trying to figure out. There was so much information I was learning from Elite Marketing Pro. There was so much stuff that I was learning, and I was just kind of putting it into like, lead generation, right? So if people had questions around lead generation and, maybe the system I was doing or recommended resources, that's getting to a little bit much. So either or, right? So either or resources. I always love the resource page, by the way. It's a great place to stick affiliate links. Right? Because you can be like, well, I recommend Aweber. Here's my affiliate link. I recommend Elite Marketing Pro. Here's my affiliate link. I recommend, Attraction Marketing Formula. Here's my link. So that's what I liked about this, was that I just got to keep it simple. So that's the menu that went right here. And again, I try to keep it as simple as possible. Otherwise, it was getting to be too much. Okay? So again, simplicity rules. I promise you that. The more simple you keep this, the better. And then, so the menu is critical. You need to have people know where they're going to go. And then what happens typically on the blog when you land on it for the first time is you'll see your first blog post, right? So this will be a headline, and then it'll be content. Right? And then there'll be like a break, and then you'll see headline, and then content, right? Some of you love the idea of having pictures on this area. So I know with the Page Creator Pro, we have it, so it's a headline, and then there's an image, and then there's content underneath of it, right? But you guys like people, hey, what up? And you're like, woohoo. You like the image section. So you can create this however you want. Honestly, for myself, I've used this format more than I've used the image format, but that's just the structure of how I like my blog. So really, it's up to you how you want to structure this. But this right here, this continuous, is old at the bottom, new at the top. Let me admit. So I gotta make this bigger here. So if you're doing the river feed, new is always on top. Ooh, that's NES. Huh. I'm thinking about no excuses already. And then old. So if you're worried about people looking at your blog and going, wow, that was some really bad articles. After a while, all your new stuff or the first stuff you wrote gets buried. It'll actually get buried further and further. So as you become a better writer, as you become a better blogger, that's typically what's going to show up at the top. All right? So does that make sense? Is this making sense with everybody? Are you like, yeah, I'm getting that. Like this is simple. The structure is easy. Is this helpful for you guys? Just want to know if this is resonating with you guys and that it's making sense and you guys are getting value out of this. So just asking, because I want to make sure you guys are getting this. Because we are at time, so I want to make sure that this made sense for you guys. Love it. Yep. Cool. So, can you create a basic status page like with page? Oh, absolutely. So Michael Penny just asked, can you create a static page? And so, yes. So this is what you typically see when you first get onto a blog, right? This is the very typical expression of what your fans are going to see. Now, as the developer, as the designer of this, it's a little different. You're going to have a backside, and typically static pages, Michael, and anybody that's asking, are hidden, right? They're not seen unless you give somebody a link to them. So nowhere on here is my capture page. Nowhere on here is the offer itself. There's just images on here. And then if they click on it, it takes them to the page to start that process. And Eric, you mentioned that the work with tab, right? So we talked about the other day. So instead of resources, that could be social. There's a lead generation. You could have, a join me, right? That could be the other one up here in your sidebar. Again, I'm trying to make sure you guys are like, five is my favorite of all of them. So just really kind of work out what you want on that sidebar. I know people that have done 7. I've seen blogs that have like 10 stuff in the menu. Like it really is up to you what you want to put. But that's a great question. But Michael, I think we're going to do another training because we're at time here about the static page and like what that looks like and how it fits into all this. But right now I just wanted to kind of give you like when people come to your Page Creator Pro, whatever it is, this is what they see. And it doesn't have to be crazy fancy, right? It doesn't have to be professional. Because I think sometimes when you see so many professional blogs, especially if you're new and you're seeing somebody else do it, it may be intimidating, right? You're like, oh, they were just so professional and I don't have the funds or the resources to do that. So it's where you can start. So with that, you guys have any other questions? I know Tom's on here, so thank you, Tom, for joining us. Jenny, thank you. And guys, just so you know, Jenny that's on here with us is actually one of our trainers for the Elite Marketing Pro Hub. So she actually every week works with all of you. So every single person that's an affiliate of Elite Marketing Pro, she works through, they do training on how to navigate the back office. They go through the complete My Training tab. Like it's really critical what they do. And then the group also takes you through Page Creator Pro. So they show you how to set this up inside of your back office. They walk you through the blog. They walk you through building out your capture pages. I just went through and updated a couple of the videos, about 4 or 5 of the videos inside of Page Creator Pro, underneath the capture page, underneath integrations. So definitely some stuff that's been put up there. Robert, you asked about, Robert Holman asks, Chef, which video talks about the menu? All mine says is assign a primary. So that's the cool thing. Actually, when you click, I believe it's on new post. I'll have to double check that. But there's a section in there that goes, you have to create your categories first. And that was my other topic I'm going to cover with you guys next week, is actually how to create your menu. It's a little more technical, but I really wanted to make sure you guys understood this first, and then we will go ahead and dive into a little bit more of that. So great question, Robert. I think I'm gonna actually add that video to Page Creator Pro's training so you guys can see that, and just keep it simple. So Eric, so great, thank you guys. Melinda, working on website. Yep, there's a lot of terminology. It's like speaking Greek for the first time. So Amanda's on here with us. Hi Sandy. Michael Penny's on with us. Charles Wu, hello. So yeah, so there's a lot of training that goes on here, and this is definitely not the easiest language to learn. It's somewhat of a technical language, and this is just really getting in there and playing with it. So the more you play with this, the more you just kind of keep it simple. Don't worry about going crazy and being all, I don't know, professional around this. Really more so focus in on it's the content and not just the look of this. So if you guys focus on the content, this is an ongoing process what you're building here. And if you focused on that, you guys will have a lot of fun with this. And with that, that is your a little over 15 minutes of inspiration, motivation, and education about your blog. So this is a simple blog structure for you guys to follow. Thanks, guys, for joining me here at Elite Marketing Pro. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Again, lots of updates are going on in the community, so check your emails, stay connected. Super excited to be here with you guys today. Enjoy the rest of your day. It is the end of February. Whoop, whoop. So we are kicking off into a new month starting tomorrow. Have a great one, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.